I want to thank everybody for being here. We are so excited. We're working with many manufacturers who are wondering, how does AI work in my business? How will I use AI to our benefit? And it was my pleasure for Payal to reach out to me, and we had an amazing talk about who she is and what she's doing. But she has been in leadership with Microsoft and Amazon for over 25 years, and she has seen the transformative power of AI and what it could really mean. So she is really leading us into this new age of AI agents. So I think what you're going to see today is very special. I think it'll be game changing for all of us, actually. And Payal is somebody who, the way to say it really is going to change our world with what she's doing. So Payal, thank you so much for being here. And I'll let you jump into your presentation.
Thank you, Kirk, for the kind introduction. It is a pleasure for me to be here. I really appreciate your time and everyone else's time at camps. I am going to start by giving a little bit of a primer to what I'm building at my startup. And then I would love to show a demo as well. And then the plan is just to open it up for Q&A. Before we get started, I know Kirk introduced me, but just wanted to add to it. After being for about 21, 22 years in big tech at Microsoft and Amazon and building products and taking them to market, scaling them, really working very closely with the customers on understanding the customers' problems. The reason I left this very high paying job and started this FinTech startup is really because I truly believe that there is not a better time to be alive than now if you want to be an entrepreneur and if you want to build something that can have a long lasting impact and make a difference in how people work or live. So that was really the reason. And also because of AI, it has become so much easier to come up with an idea and to execute on that idea. And the idea to go and build AI agents that can fix broken financial workflows and free up cash really came from the customers themselves. So we're working with a manufacturing customer, we're working with a SaaS customer, and when we were talking to them and asking that, hey, where do you see challenges? Where do you see broken processes? Where do you see inefficiencies? That's where they started talking about processes in finance, all the way from order to cash to payables. So what I'm going to show you and share a little bit more about is those AI agents that help free up the time of your finance team. Okay. So first off, the CFO's nightmare, and this is a manufacturing industry more so than anywhere else that we are seeing, where the finance team is drowning in a lot of manual work. There is the AR chaos where manufacturers, they're chasing distributors or retailers, or if they have deals with the government, and these all of this is happening manually to get paid either through email or phone calls or whatever other channel that they might be using. Along with that, there is some lack of cash forecasting, and cannot forecast really how much cash we are going to have because the reconciliations are slow because just the data and that visibility into that data is not there. And then, of course, compliance risks. A lot of times, the finance team is again manually doing accruals. Purchase orders are coming in from vendors, even approving those purchase orders so that vendors can be paid. And if the work is not done, then the accrual process. A lot of that is very time consuming, taking a considerable amount of resources to just do these repetitive tasks. And overall, per Gartner, manufacturers are wasting about 600 hours per year per FTE on these repetitive tasks, which can be done by AI agents. Now, you must be asking, but wait a second, what are AI agents? Because there's so much of hype, there's so many buzzwords out there, so it can be confusing to people in terms of really what are we talking about here. So the key definition that I wanted to share of AI agents are these are software bots that autonomously handle tasks. And they have the cognitive capabilities to understand, to read, to decide, and then to act. And the key difference between these agents versus old automation is that the traditional automation that all of us use and are accustomed to was dumb. It was very rules based, brittle rules, hard coded rules in our software systems. And it required humans to be able to go and understand if what the context was, understand what the conversation was, and then to act or tell the system on what to do. But LLMs and large language models, the small language models, since September 30th, 2022, when OpenAI dropped the chat GPT on all of us, it has become a different world. AI can understand emails, they can get the context, they can infer, they can remember. And so now a lot of the tasks that involves reading and understanding can be done by AI agents, by AI, and this is where AI agents come in. So in finance, all of the workflows that were previously required lots and lots of human hours can now be offloaded to AI so that those humans can now do other strategic higher value tasks, which is what we are finding all manufacturers really wanting. They want to optimize their operations, they want to do cost cutting, and they want their people to be really contributing to the overall success of the company rather than just wasting time doing repetitive tasks. So that's what AI agents are. Now, what are we doing? So at Mvue, we have created AI agents across a few areas. So things like PO management. And these are agents that can go and auto approve POs based on policy. It can flag exceptions as well. So the ROI for this is that you get to 50% faster approvals. And again, equivalent time savings in terms of what the finance team was originally doing. Accruals agent, this is one that we're working with a 16 billion ARR company. And the use case they got to us is that, hey, Payal, we want you to build a PO accrual agent that can automatically book accrual at the month end and reconcile the journal ledger entries. So, of course, this is a big deal for them because they have thousands of vendors that they work with. AR collections agent, this is a main one, and I'm going to demo this to you, which is the agents that can send personalized payment reminders to customers, negotiate terms, resolve disputes. They can do it through SMS, email, or calling. They can do it in the language that the customer understands. And this can lead to what we find in the industry about 15 to 20% DSO reduction, days sales outstanding reduction, which is huge for CFOs because they want more cash in hand, right? Then the next agent that we have created is the cash reconciliation agent. So this one is where your cash is coming into your bank and now you have a remittance email as well, but someone has to go and match the entries of what has come into cash, what has come into bank, and then create a receipt. And that receipt is sent back to the customer. Hugely manually done. We were not able to automate it previously because it was very hard to read the bank statements, which are typically in PDF files, or the remittance emails that are coming in either PDF or Excel or emails. But now, with the power of AI and LLMs, it is super easy to do this. So this is another agent that we have created, and you will see how magnificently it works and gives you over 90% accuracy. Then the cash forecasting agent, which can predict cash flow using AI, suggests liquidity moves as well. And then the MRO agent, which can track your maintenance spend, your versus your budgets, etc. Again, to alert you on waste and keep you running fully efficiently. So these are some agents. Again, this is not the exhaustive or comprehensive list of agents that we are building, but these are the agents that we have built because of our customers and what the customers were asking for. Now, with all of you, if there are other agents that you feel that you need that can fix your financial workflows, we would love to collaborate on that front. I wanted to share, I believe this is the second last slide, and then I'll get into demo. I wanted to share some ROI, return on investment, hard numbers for manufacturers. So one thing is that these AI agents are very lightweight and they do pay for themselves in less than 6 months. And the average cost of agents again is very low. Typically, depending on the type of agent you are using, it could range anywhere between as low as $1,500 per month to, depending on the agent, to $5,000 or so. This is typical rate of agents. Again, these agents, because of the cost savings that they bring, because of the amount of work that they're able to do, they can really pay for themselves in less than 6 months. Also, again, other than that, there is faster execution and there is a clear audit trail. And then there is clear impact on cash flow. Again, these are hard numbers that we are showing you because it is super easy to measure the impact of AI when it comes to finance versus in other areas where it may not be that visible or that evident immediately. Because in this case, no one can deny the numbers, right? We are all looking at the same numbers in terms of the benefit that the AI agent has provided. How do you implement? This is another magnificent thing about AI agents and how we have created these agents that they cause no disruption. So you do not have to stop what you're currently doing, neither is there any rip or replace of your existing finance systems. Whether you're using your current ERP system, it could be Oracle, NetSuite, SAP, QuickBooks, Workday, whatever it is, or your bank feeds, or your billing systems, or your homegrown systems that you might have created. So our agent can just connect to these ERPs. We have data connectors so that you do not have to change anything on your end. Think of these agents as interns that you are hiring. So you already have a finance team, you might have two, three, five, 10 people, and now you're hiring an AI intern that you will give some work to do. And then as the intern proves its merit, then you can start to give more work to these agents. So the friction to onboard the agent is really low. Also, you don't have to go and apply all the agents at the same time. Of course, you can identify one pain point, just one pain point that you have. It could be cash reconciliation, it could be chasing invoices, it could be invoice generation, it could be PO accruals, any of the areas where you feel that, hey, this is a high friction nuisance area for me, for my finance team, or this is where I believe I need to get more efficient because of audit reasons, compliance reasons, or whatever else, right? So we can target those areas. What happens oftentimes with manufacturing companies and leaders is that they try to shut their eyes and don't want to really know, okay, how are you really doing, or how are you really working in finance department? So long they are working and so long you are getting paid and you are paying your vendors. But the fact of the matter is that your payments are not really coming on time. So you're not getting the liquidity that you really want. And you are wasting hours with your existing finance team in having them do repetitive tasks, which are prime for AI agents. So the call to action is really, I think the other bit I really want to talk about is that, see, AI agents are new. This whole concept of AI agents can come in and do the work that you are doing is very nascent. 2025 is really the year of building the agents and experimenting with them. 2026 is where these agents will become very much embedded into your organizations. So what we are also offering is this opportunity for you to be that industry leader, for you to be the first to go and implement and bring in AI into your world and bring AI with these low cost, low risk scenarios. And these could also actually be great brand building or media building channel for the leaders of manufacturing companies that, hey, we were struggling with a lot of manual repetitive work in our finance department and we implemented this AI agent and now we are seeing these results. So I think those case studies can really be very impressive. And for those leaders who are innovative, forward thinking, and want to get started rather than be a follower. Because next year, 2026, is going to be a big year for everyone wanting to do the same and follow. So we are offering low cost pilots. Pilots last for about 30 days. And then once again you start to see the benefit, we can scale to other areas in your finance. So that's my presentation, and I will pause here before I jump into the demo to see if there were any questions.
Payal, I have a question. I'm sure other people do too. But let's just say that a company started with one of these agents with you. How easy is it to add more functions and more agents?
Yeah, same process. I think will need to follow as we'll follow for the first agent, which is understanding your workflows and then coming and applying the agent. These are all discrete additive agents that you can build, that you can deploy. You could, there's a vision that I have in my mind, which is agentic finance systems, where everything in finance is running autonomously with humans being the escalation point or to handle exceptions, or the collection of all these agents talking to each other, one agent talking to another agent, can lead to that agentic finance.
That's great. Wow. Thank you.
Yeah, this is Di. I have a little question. So I was wondering, in terms of, so are these agents specific to the industry, or is it kind of one size fits all where or can it be just solely specific to my business, to how we run our finances? Do you
Yeah.
adjust that? Do you adjust it to that, or is that something that just kind of,
No, it will be specific to your business, Dio. And that is the reason there is this about 30 days process that happens. A couple of days is just for us to understand your workflow. And then we go and adapt the agent to your specific scenario that you have, your specific use case. So, yes, it will be customized to you.
perfect. And so that follows up with how do I, how, how do you help prove to me that I can trust your agents to actually perform their task in an efficient way, obviously, that's going to save me costs, but then they have my financial database within that system. Is that being stored within the cloud, or how's that being stored?
Yeah, so we will take a feed of your data, your finance data, your customer, if you're using AR collection agents or customer information, and it will be stored on our side in AWS. And we follow all of the security and privacy compliance with SOC 2. SOC 2 is the certification that we are working to get. So all the data is 100% secure. The agreement that you will sign will have a specific information about things like the data is not going to be shared. It's going to be your specific tenant in the cloud, so your data is 100% protected at all times. The policies we have that will be in the agreement that we will sign also talk about data retention policies. So you might want to just have your historical data be removed or deleted at regular intervals and things like that. So all of that is there for us. We are ensuring that your data is 100% protected. And this is no different, honestly, Deo, if you think about it from what you're doing today. So today you are probably using cloud-based SaaS systems, right? Where your data is currently sitting. So whatever, and these are all typically most of these are hosted in public cloud. The way the data is secured today across the world in the cloud on public or private clouds, same way we deploy in AWS, which is a very secure public cloud, and that's where your data will remain protected.
Thank you for that. Yeah, I think I have a couple of questions in the chat too.
Yes, let's look at those. Okay, if you're creating an AI agent for a process you haven't built one for yet, like a new kind of budget workflow reporting task, how long does it typically take to get that up and running? Yeah, about 4 to 6 weeks, Stacy. And this is where, again, the good thing is that we are a startup, right? So we are highly nimble. So we can move at the speed the customer is willing to move. And so if they move fast, we can actually spin up the agents and get them ready in under a week. The beauty is that it is becoming so much easier to spin up these agents. Also, because in our case, we have the AI agent orchestration platform. So that platform is all there. And then if you come and say that, hey, I need a agent that is for this workflow, and I say, oh, we've never built that. So I can basically create the new agent and that will sit on my same orchestration platform. So yes, it is super easy. What are all the requirements to utilize the AI agents if our ERP system does not connect to the bank? Is there a way to use the AI agent as the middleman? Yes, absolutely, 100%. So again, if that is the way you have a workflow that requires your human agents to talk to the bank and get a feed manually, then our AI agent will be able to act and do the same. So again, you should just think about these AI agents as almost human workers. And the way you tell a new intern that joins your team that, hey, this is what you need to do, this is the process that needs to be followed, the same way you will instruct the AI agent as well, and then it will do what you're asking it to do. And I'm going to show you how you can actually monitor and audit everything that the AI agent is doing. The AI agent is going to work for you tirelessly, 24/7. It's not going to sleep. It's not going to take a break. It's not going to ask for a raise. It's not going to leave your company. And then you have to bring in someone else and train them again. So these agents are very loyal. And yes, and they are trustworthy too. But I'm going to demo you how we can deploy, how we can show you the complete audit trail. Okay, so any other question? We are 11:30. My demo is going to take about 15 minutes, I believe. But again, feel free to stop me so that if there are questions you have,
I got one question, please, Payal.
yes, please go ahead.
And I send you, I posted in the chat, but I will, I guess, repeat myself.
Yes.
So is the part of the agreement is based on, I guess, long-term like implementation, 1 year and longer, or there are like, could be monthly? I'm talking about the payments, the cost for the service, right?
Yeah,
Can you
Alex.
elaborate on that?
Yeah, Alex, a good question. So it all depends. We will deploy the agent and for a nominal fee. And as the agent starts working, then that's where after the 3 months, initial 3 months, and then that's where the monthly fee kicks in. Now, let's say the agent has been working for you for 6 months and you are very unhappy with the agent and you're like, I don't know, Payal, this is just not working out. The agent is making too many mistakes. My finance team is saying that it's more of a headache, so I want to not use it anymore. So that's fine. So we'll just terminate the agreement so you don't have to pay for the following month. Your payment to us will come monthly.
Thank you.
Yeah. This again, I think it's the same subscription model everyone uses for SaaS as well. So pretty straightforward. Think of it as a SaaS AI agent, but SaaS world was all rules based, very brittle, very hard coded, and was really meant, the SaaS tools came in to make humans more productive. That was really the reason, right? Otherwise, humans could do all of the work that they're doing just through email and Excel and maybe paper and pen. But SaaS came in, the ERPs, all the billing systems, et cetera, just to make humans more productive. Now, the next wave that is happening is where we are saying that this is, you can augment your staff by adding AI agents to your staff that can do the work that your finance team is doing. And so that that team that you have can move on to do the real core high value work that they never get time for. You, I don't know how many times you must have heard from your finance leader or finance team that yes, we will get to it, we'll get to it, I just don't have time, my team is buried right now in reconciling or in month end closing activities or in chasing invoices and etc. Right, that is really the point here. All right,
Hey,
Sina,
hey,
you're asked.
Payal, I was just going to mention there's a couple more questions, but let's save them for after your, and I'll bring them up, but let's save them for after your demo.
Yes. Okay. I'll just take the last question because that is what I'm going to show you as well. So yeah, you do not, we have ability to write into all ERP systems because of APIs. So is the integration is through APIs. We have data connectors. So we get the data out of Oracle and then we can put the data back into Oracle based on the updates that the AI agent has done. So pretty straightforward. Okay, so with that, Kirk, yes, we can take rest of the questions after the demo, but let me show you. And I think the demo will also answer some of the questions that you might have with you. All right, you will land onto the login page and then you will get to the dashboard. And these are the different AI agents that I was showing you that we have created. So I'm going to demo you the AR collection agent and the cash app reconciliation agent, the two topmost agents. So depending on which agents you want, this is where you'll be able to quickly go into that agent setting. All right, so this is the collection agent. And this is where you can filter the data by region, business unit, account. Now see, this is showing you your outstanding open AR as of today. So today is June 25th and it is showing you your open AR balance is 194 million and you have about 192,000 invoices still open and your current DSO is 48. These are the top customers that haven't paid you yet. This is your complete aging report on how many invoices are overdue by 30 days, by 90 days, by 60 days. It also shows you your targets versus collections. And that for every month, typically finance teams, they set targets that, okay, team, this month your target is to recover whatever 5 million. And then the actual collections that come in is 2.5 million because either the team was not able to chase all invoices or the payments, the customers have punted the payment or promised to pay dates, etc. So you can totally see month over month what is happening. How are the payments coming in? And then there is disputes, etc. Now again, this dashboard is very customizable. Deo, to your question, we can totally make it to your workflow, to the widgets that you want to see. This level of visibility, by the way, most finance teams and finance leaders and manufacturing leaders do not have today. They just don't have this information. But now with MView, they will be able to have this at their fingertips. So let's say you go into your OpenAR summary and okay, these are all my customers and this is what they owe me. Meta owes me 312K and past due 90 days is 124K. Oh wow. Okay. And then you see customer segmentation we have created using AI, machine learning models. So based on the historical payment patterns on Meta, our AI is tagging it as an inconsistent pair. So this is a flag to the finance leaders right there that, okay, we need to figure out what is happening with Meta. You can also see a lot more information about Meta that you didn't have before. This is again at your fingertips. Things like open invoices, open disputes, dispute closure time, overdue amount, etc. Yeah. So now you go into Meta and then you see the invoices. So as of today, these are all the open invoices that Meta needs to pay you for. And AI has determined that, okay, what action needs to happen, or the action mode that needs to be used, and then the risk scoring for these invoices. There's other rich information at the top. I'm not going to go into all of this. You can read it. I want to make the demo super interesting. So let me show you how AI comes in. So these are all the open invoices. So I can go here and I'll say execute on this one. And here, see now, AI has automatically generated email to Meta. This has the right invoice number, it has the right due date, it has the right amount. A lot of times humans do make errors when they have to write these emails, but LLMs are able to write these emails. So let's say you send an email to Meta and say that, hey, you have these invoices that are overdue. And then the email comes back from Meta about a week later and saying that I have these two invoices that I will promise to pay by end of the month. And then this other invoice you haven't sent me. So now look at what AI has done. AI has read the email, summarized the email, AI understands the context of this email. AI has created suggested actions like sending a invoice copy, updating the promise to pay date, and AI has also automatically created a follow-up email because Meta is saying I will pay you by end of May. So AI is saying, okay, cool. Then I need to send you a follow-up email on 21st May and I need to generate a copy of the invoice for you. So automatically these actions are happening. Like your finance team don't have to do anything at all, and there's a full audit trail that you have. Invoices are getting generated, invoices are getting emailed, actions are being taken, and this is in different languages as well. And this is just email. Now I can show you the same thing with Dunning level one, but calling if you have to call your customer. So this is where again, if you still want your humans to call, AI is giving you a script to use with the correct invoice number, correct due date. But you can actually have just the agent talk to your customer. And this agent, when they call the customer, it's not going to be like a chatbot calling. It will sound so real, so humanly. And because this is the power of AI. So the customer in many cases may not even know that I'm talking to an AI agent instead of a human agent. So that can happen. See, this is the conversation that is happening on a call with Meta, with between an AI agent and Meta, not a human agent and Meta. So this is really beautiful, very impressive. I think the power of AI is honestly mind-blowing. And then after the call, there's a full call transcript as well. So now let's say, so this is where I was showing you, I was clicking, right? So this is a co-pilot mode where if you still want your humans to do the work, but get the assistance from AI so that they become more productive. So you can use this mode. But what we are really deploying with our customers, including the manufacturing customer, actually they're based in Puget Sound in Tacoma that we're working very closely with. And their use cases, they have multiple ERP systems, a lot of complexity in AR processes. So they are looking to actually use autopilots. Autopilot is where you are sleeping and the AI agent did all the work behind your back. So they send the call, they called people, they send them SMS messages, they send them email. And then you wake up in the morning and you say, okay, let me see what has my agent done. And this comes back to the auditing part because you don't want the AI agent just to go rogue. And also it takes time to build trust with the agent. But you can now go and see, okay, looks like my agent made these calls. Let me see. They called Noah for these invoices. Okay, three invoices. The call duration was 45 seconds. Okay, this is the summary of the call. Agent called Noah to remind her about overdue invoices. Noah acknowledged. Agent mentioned a minor discrepancy in the client provided data and agent agreed to follow up after checking the issue. Okay. And then you can see a full transcript of what your agent has talked to. Again, this gives you the peace of mind that and you can audit every day. This is also needed if you have to go through compliance processes. All of this will be maintained in the database and will be available to you. So this is the collections agent, very comprehensive, but this is what we are deploying with a couple of our customers. The other agent I want to show you is the cash app reconciliation agent. So this is where you have payments, cash coming into your bank. 194 million came into your bank and you are now reconciling it with your open invoices to basically close out your invoices and to create receipts. So highly manual process today needs to be done, cannot be avoided. The software is not set up to do this autonomously. So this is where AI comes in. So this is a dashboard you will see when you wake up in the morning. Okay, how much payment has come in, how much has been reconciled, what is open, still sitting open, which hasn't been reconciled, and where is my exceptions happening for the payments that are not reconciled, and etc. etc. So then you can click and go into more details. You can see, okay, let me go and see what is the full view of my receipts, my applied receipts, and my bank statements that has come in. So we are able to show you that entire information. This is where you see the receipts from the customers, the account numbers, the amount, the transaction numbers, and these are the unapplied receipts. Now, again, do note that this was done by AI. They automatically created the receipt, and the receipts that they could not apply, they also posted that because sometimes the data is just missing, it's not there. So then that's where the human will need to come in to go and figure it out. But today, because AI is able to read, it's able to do so much more than it was previously possible. Okay, so that is my demo, and I've shown you two agents, and like I said, there are other agents as well, but I won't go through all of them right now. I'm going to stop sharing and open it up for questions.
Payal, there's a couple questions. One from Sina that was asked earlier. She said, dealing with money, I'm wondering, in the case that an irreversible mistake happens by the AI, who's liable, the AI or the company?
Yeah, the thing is, Sina, these are all reversible mistakes because these are really errors that are happening either in matching numbers or in reporting or in following up with customers, right? And when you see the audit trails, you will figure out, oh, these errors are happening and AI can be corrected and these mistakes can be reversed. But there is also the AI, I think you might be also referring to what we are seeing a little of, which is AI hallucinating, right? And the thing is that because in our use case, there are strong guardrails we are putting in terms of what the AI, within what guardrails the AI will perform. So the error, the chances of error happening and hallucination has gone down a lot. So that is number one. And number two is that even if, let's say, something happens and AI hallucinates and does wrong matching of a receipt or creates a wrong receipt or whatever, right? You have then the auditing capabilities. So those provide you sufficient guardrails. But again, the other thing is this is no different from humans making errors, right? I think the point here is that AI will make far lesser number of errors than humans make. So then
I
you
love
choose.
that. Yes, and Stacy asked the question, just so I'm clear, does the AI agent fully automate the workflow on its own once it's trained, or does it still require user approval for suggested next steps? And does that level of autonomy depend on how much trust the user has built into the agent?
Yeah, 100%. You got it, Stacey. Totally depends on how much trust you have built in the agent. Agent has built in you. So you can run it fully autonomously. That is, you're sleeping and agent is doing all the work. Or you can say, no, I want still these steps to be approved by a human. So the agent can do these 5 steps, but this final step, I want human to come in and check and then do it. Yeah, so that's totally possible. This is where that workflow session will come in. So our team will sit with you and we will go through your workflow and understand what you need, and then we will go and implement it.
Grace mentioned that the integrated functions are fascinating, and they
Thank you.
are. Yeah, absolutely. Stacey asked, do you see AI agents like yours eventually replacing the need for outside accounting firms?
Yep, absolutely. You don't need those accounting firms, right? Because those accounting firms, they charge you money and they deploy humans to do this kind of work, which you can actually do yourself. Also, in your case, if you are using accounting firms, right, you can say, hey, I'm just a small manufacturer. I don't have my own finance team. I just outsourced it to the accounting firm. So this may not apply to me. No, you should talk to your accounting firm and you should say, hey, I met with Mvue, they have these autonomous agents. I want you to use this for the work that you're doing for us, and so that you can get that cost saving back to you. So instead of paying whatever you're paying to them today, you will pay them less. So, absolutely.
Wonderful. In fact, I think accounting firms, if they were smart, would partner with you right away. So
Yeah.
they should be the ones through you automating these processes. So Luke asked, how does the AI system know which invoice to apply payments to? Payments come through the bank account with remittances come through the email attachments. So what's the process?
Yeah, this is the magic of AI, because AI agent will read the bank statement that your bank posts, right? And then it will read the email, the remittance email, and it will go line by line, try to match. Okay, is it finding a match in the customer name? Is it finding a match in the customer ID or something else, right? The amount, the exact amount, is there a match? Is there a match in the description of why this cash was paid? So yeah, it's the same thing basically. Your eyes, whatever you are able to do, AI agent is able to do the same thing because it has the reading and the cognition capabilities. It's very smart. It can understand the context.
I'll just mention, Pale, that as you and I spoke originally, I thought this was so smart because a lot of times if companies have problems paying, this your automation AI agent would collect faster from people who may be slower paying because it's following up and it's on top of it. So I thought that was really awesome. Stacey just asked, for manufacturers currently outsourcing accounting tasks, what specific processes could an AI agent realistically take over first, and what functions might still require some outside support?
Yeah, I think it all depends. I would think cash reconciliation could be a very easy one. If you're working with a lot of vendors and they are sending you POs and you're working through the process of PO approvals or PO accruals, that could be a quick one. And of course, generating invoices and sending it to your customers to pay or chasing those invoices, that could be, it all depends on where you want to get started. I think you can do it two ways. If I were you, I think there are two ways to do it. One is you say, okay, I'm sold. I on AI. I think AI is going to take over the world. AI is going to change everything. And I'm going to go after my highest friction, most complicated process. That is my biggest pain point, and I want AI to go solve it. So that is one way to think about it. The second way could be that you'll be like, no, okay, I'm not 100% convinced, or I do not trust AI completely. I want to experiment. I want to just pilot. I just want to get my feet wet. So then you'll be like, okay, let me identify an extremely low risk scenario, a use case that even if AI screws it up, it's not going to be too much of a problem. And I'll go after that. I'll see how it does. Then I will go after the other. So it could be either way. It just totally depends on what is your appetite.
I like that. And Grace just reiterated what you said earlier about mistakes get made, but hopefully your audit and your double checks within your system will catch it. And Alex, Alex, if you want to read yours, let you repeat yourself again.
Yes, sorry if I wasn't that clear.
No, you're
So I'm trying to understand. Thank you for demo, Payal. It was really good. Again, we are still in the beginning, because you mentioned of all that things coming in 2026. I'm trying to understand if there is still need for accountant person like a POAR to make manually receipts once the customer paid in our accounting system. AI is not going to do it, correct? Actual posting like the receipts.
Yeah, AI will do it.
It will hit the jail.
Yeah.
Okay. In both cases, in the customer receipts and also in the bank reconciliation, it
Yeah.
will do everything basically. Okay.
Yeah. See, that bit, Alex, is the super simple bit, right? That doesn't really require intelligence of AI. It is just a API call. If you have an API to your accounting system, then we'll write a piece of code that will call that API and make those GL entries or updates, right? So this can be even done today.
What
This,
is API? I'm sorry.
huh?
What is API stands for? API? You mentioned it.
Oh, API. Okay, okay. Application Program Interface. It's just basically when you have a system, any SaaS application, any system will have interface in front of it that is used to talk to that system.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's
Okay.
what we use. Yeah.
And you install those right along
Yeah.
with.
We will figure out a way of how to make those calls to your
Okay.
systems.
Thank you for clarification. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
These are all very good questions. We're getting towards the last 5 minutes, and so I wanted to stay receptive to anybody else who had a question here. Grace just asked, what's the estimated cost of this application for businesses with annual revenues around 4 million? I don't know if you have an idea how you would charge for that.
Yeah, so 4 million obviously typically falls in the small business category. So for small business, depending on what agents you are using, it can be based on that. Again, like I said, it could be anywhere between starting from $500 a month to $5,000 a month. It totally depends on your workflow, the complexity of it, and which AI agent you're deploying. And then if you see, if you're talking about even $1,000 a month, right? So that is your annual cost of 12,000 versus, and but that is able to do the work of, let's say, two accountants or three accountants. So then it starts to quickly pay for itself. But it totally depends, Grace, on what your scenario is. These agents, they are quite cheap.
I love that because it's such a measurable ROI. That is excellent. We're just down to our last few minutes here. Payal, I loved hearing your thoughts and your vision, but could you share with us your vision for yourself, your company, and your vision for AI as it develops?
Yeah, absolutely. I do firmly believe, based on what I'm seeing with AI evolution that is happening, right, that we are all going to be working, living, breathing very differently in the next few years. And this is real. And I don't think, let's say that today, if all development or innovation on AI stopped happening, just the innovation that has already happened, that is enough to massively change the way people do businesses or the way people function. I also believe that with AI, a lot of the companies, and I'm talking outside of just finance now, a lot of the companies, small, medium businesses, will have a way level playing field than they had before. And because now they have the capability to scale to the same level large enterprises were able to scale, whether it's in supply chain, whether it is in any of their other business processes, whether it's HR, whether it's legal. Every time a small business had to think about expansion, they had to pause because the cost of expansion, the operational expenses used to be high. But now with AI, your OpEx is going to come down and you will be able to have a more level playing field as compared to your other competitors, the other companies. It is all very real that is happening. And I also think that eventually we will see a world where any task that is being done by humans behind a computer will be capable to be done by AI. And that's where humans can then truly apply their critical thinking, their faculties to start creating and innovating and building so much more that they just could not do today, that they just did not have time to do, that they just did not have the information and capability to do. So that's my vision for what I believe is going to happen. And of course, we are working on one domain of this, which is finance, which we believe is very ripe for disruption.
Payal, I will just mention that you really are leading this brand new age we have of AI agents and automated work. Like you mentioned, living, breathing, working with AIs to simplify, to do complex tasks. And like you mentioned, the innovations happening in AI are happening at such a rapid rate that I appreciate that you have the courage to start this company. And I hope everybody on the call will support Payal, will stay in touch, will implement her technologies and AI agents into your companies, because I think that we as a camps community really need to be on this leading edge of AI. So thank you so much for your time today.
Absolutely. Thank you, Kirk, for having me. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for everyone who joined. I truly appreciate the engagement. I appreciated all the questions, and I hope that you found it useful.
Thank you.